If you're investing in mineral exploration or working within it, or you just want to learn a little bit more about it, I want to let you know about an open access resource to you called Junior Mining Hub. And what Junior Mining Hub does is it takes the market catalyst events, so those press releases, from all of the publicly traded companies on the North American exchanges and organizes that information and displays it in a way that you can really hone in on what's interesting to you, but also understand a lot more about areas and what's happening in them. When we look at the map and when we come to the page initially, we'll come and default to this map tab here. And this is where any project specific news articles are going to be living. There are articles out there on the day-to-day that are not project specific, and all of that information can be found within the newsroom. But when we're on the map here, right away we can see a few different colors, blue and yellow. And the big difference here is that on the yellow ones, there's just a lot more information available to us to learn more about them. So if we zoom into an area, and let's take the Yukon of Canada here, let's just look a little bit at what we can see and explain what that is. So right away, we can see a number of projects, and as we move our mouse around, we can see who the owner is of these projects. But let's click on a news article, in this case, this one here. So it looks like this is Fireweed Metals, and they had their largest ever drill program announced today at the McMillan Pass project. So this is the news article. That's fairly standard. But if we click on the project summary, we can find out a lot more information right away about this project. And let's zoom in on the map on the left-hand side. So we can also see that Snowline Gold is to the northwest, also to the southwest, all around them. Looks like we have Rackla Metals up here too. And there's Rackla again. On this page on the right-hand side, though, we can see the name of the project, the commodities associated with it, the stage of the project, and also the Tombstone Gold Belt and Tintina Gold Belt, which is the mineral district or camp that this resides within. So a lot of information right out of the gates. And if we were to click on any of these buttons here, this is where there's essentially a mirroring of Fireweed Metals' website onto the platform here. So let's click on Project Summary. So right away, we can see exactly what Fireweed has on their website here. And what's pretty cool too is that we can quickly link to a resource estimate and a PEA. We're also seeing stock information, and we could jump to their management, company profile. So let's go to the company profile. So now we can learn a little bit more about this company, Fireweed in this case. So if I just go back out a bit here, let's zoom out a little bit further. The reason that things are on a project scale here is in exploration, typically activities happen on a project scale. So maybe that project goes into production, or it changes hands, or there's money being put into it. Often these are kind of, all project specific things. And what we wanted to do with this platform is kind of create a cohesive structure, much like an MLS would be. And when you do it that way, we can do a number of queries within here, because ultimately all this information lives on a database here. So we can filter news articles. We could go back in time. Maybe we could focus specifically on an area, let's say the James Bay district, which is in Quebec. Let's go back to the last 30 days. And let's pull out mergers and acquisitions, as well as project acquisitions. And let's do a quick search. So as that loads over, what we're going to see here is a few projects that have come up here. So these are articles tied to them. So in this case, we had, looks like K9 Gold. I think this is fairly recent too. So again, very, very powerful to quickly hone in on what we wanted to do there. We could also filter for projects by a specific commodity or stage. Again, really just, or we could just hover around and zoom around a press release and see who's in the area. The big idea here is, to help untangle it. And often we're focused on areas that we know or we're attracted to, or where there's big activities happening, or maybe it's mineral belts or jurisdictions. So again, at Junior Mining Hub here, our goal is to organize this information. It's to promote mineral exploration, to provide transparency, and ultimately a resource for you to learn about companies and stay informed on what's happening out there. I hope this information has been helpful to you, and there's going to be a number of other videos following this one where you can learn a little bit more and take a dive a bit deeper. Thanks a lot.